Well, hi everybody. This is a screencast that's going to show you exactly how to set up your iPad for testing. We're going to start off by logging into our iPad. That's a private password, so I'm going to block that part. The rest of it I'm going to show you. Alright, first step, and these are the stages you go through before you can even load this Pearson Test Navigator on an iPad. First step you want to take is to do a double click, and we're going to call this spring cleaning. We're going to do a double click, and we're going to find out what apps are open in your iPad, and we're going to throw those right out the top. Some of you will have 2 or 3 like I did, and some of you might have 30 or 40, so that's okay. That means you just use your iPad a lot, I guess. And so if that's the case, you want to go ahead and clean those out so that it'll work as well as possible on test day. Step one's already done, and we're going to go on to step 2, which is the part where you establish guided access as an option. Now, guided access is a feature of your iPad that lives under settings and accessibility and allows you to do one app at a time securely so that you won't be thrown out of that app for any reason. Test Navigator will not work without guided access on and activated, and that's an important distinction. Right now in step 2 we're going to turn it on, and in step 3 we're going to activate it. To turn guided access on, you click on settings, and by the way, if you need to, definitely pause this video, watch this as much as you need. After you do settings, you're going to go to general, which is already there, and you're going to look at accessibility. Under accessibility, there's a lot of things, including things for the visually impaired. Your iPad can help people with hearing issues, other multimedia things. The part we're going to use is called guided access, and it lives right there. Guided access should be turned on, and my guided access is turned on. Guided access button, as you can see right here, is green. And if that's green, you're in good shape. We want to make sure everybody's is green. Let's say, for instance, when I logged in, it was not green and it looked like that. I need to just turn that on by touching it and make it green. The other thing we're going to do as we turn on guided access is we're going to set our passcode so that they all match. Under this, it says passcode settings. Some of you might say something different, but settings for passcode, and you're going to say set up your guided access passcode. Some of the newer versions of iOS just say set passcode. Whatever it says, click on it. You're going to get a screen that looks like this, and you're establishing a password that goes with guided access. We want everybody to use the exact same passcode, 1111, and it's going to ask you to do that again, 1111. If you don't enter it the same way twice in a row, it's going to tell you you made an error, and I want everybody to be really careful because your iPad can get locked up if you enter the wrong passcode or if you forget your passcode. Now, step 2 is done. We have established and turned on guided access, and now comes the fun part. We are going to launch the Test Navigator. So find the app on your home page. It should be there as a shortcut. If it's not, you can install it from the App Store. You're going to click on the Pearson app, and it's going to launch that app, and now you have just that app open, and it's going to run quickly. You're going to get a screen that looks maybe like this, but let it finish loading. Patience is key here. And when it loads, you're going to see right here, it says PARCC training, and that's good. For the real test, we're going to go up here into the top right where there's this little sign of a user, this user menu, where there's a little man's profile picture there, and we're going to choose a different customer. It's the second option here. We're going to choose a different customer, and that's going to allow us to select our test. When we select our test, on the real test day, we're going to want to scroll down there, and I bet you can guess we want to pick Illinois. These are all the states that are taking this test. So on a real test day, we're going to pick Illinois. We're going to double check that it says Illinois, and then we would click this blue button. Now for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and stick with the PARCC training module, and we'll click Go to Customer Site. Because all we're doing today is trying to just log in, make sure it works. Now, this won't work until we put guided access on, but before we put guided access on, we have to test our audio. You'll notice a button here that says Click to Test Audio. It's at this point where your teacher is going to tell you to plug in your headphones and I don't have any, but I'll say click. Here go my headphones. And your external keyboard, click. There's my external keyboard. At that time, with your headphones on, you can click the audio button. Now you can hear that, but you want to make any adjustments to the volume now, not later. If you turn it up to a reasonable volume or down to a volume you like, that's the volume you're going to hear. Sorry, I think my arm was in the way. That's the volume you're going to hear when you take the test. And there is audio and visual pieces to the PARCC assessment, so you want to make sure you can hear it pretty well. And after you've made adjustments, you'll want to try that again and make sure it sounds good to you. Now is the time to enter your username and password, but not so quick. You've got to go into guided access mode. In order to do that, you got to turn it on by triple clicking your home button, 3 quick clicks. And you see that disclaimer I got? Guided access started. Now some of you are going to see another box pop up here and it's going to say, oh, you want accessibility features. And guided access will be one of many features to show up. It might ask you, do you want inverted colors? Do you want larger script? Do you want subtitles? For this application, the only one you want is guided access. If you should get that box, just click guided access and you'll get the same disclaimer I just got, which says, hey, you're in guided access now. If you ever question if you're in guided access or not, which is important because this test will not work unless you are in guided access, you can hit the home button once and you'll see a banner like that. It says guided access is enabled. Triple click if you want to get rid of it. Let's look at that again. Guided access enabled. Triple click to get rid of it. Now you're ready to go. You've tested your sound, you've plugged in your devices, you've established guided access, and you know that you cannot leave this app until you enter your passcode. Now it's time to enter your username and password. This is what you'll get from your teachers on test day, but for today's training session, we're just going to enter a fake one. We're going to enter username. And I bet you could guess, we're going to enter password. These are just training logins so that we can try all this stuff out and get used to the system. After you've entered that very carefully and correctly, by the way, you're going to click sign in. And this is where we exercise patience and make sure that you're waiting for the system to catch up. This could be slower when a lot of kids log in all at once. And you know you're in there when you see this window. It's going to say start test now, and this is where everybody wants to stop. So students, you've successfully gotten in. When you have a start test now button, the only thing left to do is to get a seal code, a confidential number from your teacher once everybody's logged in just like this. Happy testing, and hopefully this screencast helped you out.